Are you financially free? Like as in right now in this moment? Yes or no? Well, if the answer is no, have you been trying? And if you've been trying for a while, why hasn't it happened? So what is the thing that's holding you back? Well, it's the common denominator in every failure you've ever had. You and me and all people, we are the reason why we're not getting the things that we want out of life. And the thing specifically that's holding you back is a belief, specifically a limiting belief. Because really there's two types of beliefs. There are those that build us up and there are those that tear us down. Now, if you're not really sure on what a limiting belief is, let me just give you an idea. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I just can't do it. As in, did you know by the time you were 16 years old, you heard the words can't 50,000 times? They literally have been etched in stone in your mind, and you have these neural pathways: can't, don't, shouldn't, mustn't. When the reality is, when you were a kid, that was probably smart. Don't touch that stove. Don't walk into the street. Don't get that person pregnant. Like, there's reasons why as children and teenagers we're told no, 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 no. But what that does is, while well-meaning parents are trying to keep us safe, we're also creating these self-imposed blocks, telling ourselves now in adulthood that we're not capable of certain things, or that we can't have that level of financial success, that we can't be happy. These limiting beliefs basically form your reality. Okay, Kris, so if everyone has these limiting beliefs, where did they come from? Well, let me tell you where they came from for me. I was young, I was little, I wanted to do things, and in certain moments I either had a dad or a mom that said, we believe in you, you can do it. Or it was, yeah, that ain't happening, you're not doing that, you're not capable of that. And so in our childhood, we're exposed to all of these limiting beliefs, and when we're kids, we believe them. But on top of that, it's largely the negative events in life that shape our mindset over time. When you have a negative experience, when you experience something super disappointing, maybe you experience something awful like abuse, we tell ourselves stories. And then we reinforce these stories through our life, and then we never break free of them. So as we age and we get bigger and we get older, our mindset doesn't change. It stays fixed. And then, because we got all these limiting beliefs in us, we keep looking for ways to reinforce those beliefs, even though they're not serving us, they're not good for us, but we just can't help it. Take a look at some of the most common limiting beliefs. I'm not worthy of success, or I'm too old to do that, I'm too young to do that, or I don't have the resources. Or think about the weird money beliefs that people have. Like, if you have money, you can't get to heaven, right? That's a weird one. Money is the root of all evil. Or if you have money, you have more problems. Or money is for dirty, rotten, stinking scoundrels, right? Like, you have to be unethical to make money. All of those beliefs keep you from having financial success, even if you only have a handful of them. Now, before we talk about how you get unstuck from your limiting beliefs, it's important to look at the cost of being stuck. You see, with a limiting belief, we tend to procrastinate, or we miss out on opportunities, or we end up having low self-esteem. We can actually reinforce sadness and ultimately depression. But if you were without your limiting beliefs, you would become more confident. You would take action more easily. You'd have self-belief. You'd believe in yourself, and you'd naturally create more success. You see, these beliefs, they actually touch everything. They touch our careers, our relationships, our finances, our personal development. And if you want to overcome your limiting beliefs, there's 3 steps that I want to talk about today that are going to help you do this starting right now. As I teach them to you, I want you to understand where they come from. Years earlier, I became aware that I had all of these self-imposed limiting beliefs. A lot of them came from childhood, they came from trauma, they came from bad experiences in my past. And I found some coaches that basically said, hey, Kris, you have a paradigm, a collection of all your beliefs that determines what is or isn't possible for you. And ultimately, they said, your paradigm is flexible, it's changeable. They said, right now, you have about 10,000 beliefs that make up the way that you see the world. And maybe half of them are good and half of them are bad. And that's why you get mixed results. You might be going for some new lifetime achievement, or making more money than you had before, or finally finding love after having your heart broken. But if you've got beliefs that are pulling you down as well as ones that are empowering you, that's where you get the mixed results. So what my mentors did is they said, we're gonna show you every day a little process to basically go on a search and destroy mission. Let's find the limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and then I'm gonna show you how to swap them out for an empowering belief. And it comes down to these 3 simple steps. Step 1, you start with awareness, which is, I have to find the limiting belief that's holding me back. And my favorite way to do this is I have a little ritual that I want to teach you. Every morning when I wake up, kind of in the first hour of the day, I'll get to a place where I will close my eyes and take in a deep breath, stop thinking and start feeling. And I'm going to ask myself this question: what is the number one limiting belief holding me back? Now, if you sit quiet outside of your mind, you're going to have something come up. It might be that you're working on a health goal and you want to lose 10 pounds. And you might say, what is the number one limiting belief keeping me from losing that weight? Or maybe you've been struggling to want to go to the gym and you haven't had motivation. Hey, what's the number one limiting belief that is demotivating me from going to the gym? Maybe you're working on your finances and you're like, what's the number one limiting belief keeping me from buying my first piece of real estate? And here's what I can tell you. If you sit and you ask the question, you will receive awareness. You'll start to figure out what that limiting belief is. In real estate, it might be, I'm too young, or I don't have the money, or I don't believe I can do it, or it's too hard, or I don't know how. If it was about losing weight, it might be, I just don't feel motivated, or it's too hard to eat healthy food, or I don't have any friends that will support me. These limiting beliefs are the beliefs that are holding you back from moving forward. So that first step is become aware of the beliefs that limit you. Step 2 is called reframe, which means you get an opportunity to replace the limiting belief for a new belief. What we're doing here is we're challenging our negative thoughts and we're replacing them with empowering beliefs. So if you said, well, I can't do it, well then what would happen if you told yourself, I can do it, I am doing it? Or if you told yourself, I'm too young, and instead it's, actually I'm the perfect age, like I'm ready for this right now. Or if you told yourself it's too hard to lose weight, it's like, I lose weight easily. You have to believe it if you want to see it. Do not listen to the rest of the world that says that you have to see it in order to believe it, because it's a catch-22. You're never gonna get what you want until you achieved it, but you're never gonna achieve it until you believe that you can. You might say, for example, well, I'm not good at public speaking. And you might turn that around to say, I'm a powerful, confident speaker. At the end of the day, beliefs aren't really true. They're just thoughts that we keep thinking, and you can change them anytime you want. And I'm inviting you to become aware of all the negative self-talk, which is really an expression of all of the negative beliefs that are holding you down, and developing this ability to say, oh, I spot it, so I got it. And now I can turn it around. I'm gonna take this limiting idea and I'm gonna change it to an empowering idea. The third and final step is to take empowered action. And this is about breaking the pattern, right? Consistent action reinforces new beliefs and ultimately builds confidence. So start small, take one step towards what really scares you, and then surround yourself with people who challenge you, people that believe in you, and even be willing to take messy action. Even small wins reprogram the brain to believe differently. So there I was, 22 years old. I had now met 3 different people who had made millions of dollars in real estate, and the world was telling me, you can't do that. You're too young. It takes money to make money. You don't have money. You don't have the training. You don't have the ability. But because I surrounded myself by these mentors, and then I made friends with people that were also financially winning in life, all of a sudden, these people believed in me when no one else was. That made it a lot easier for me to believe in myself. And you know what? I remember the day I said, I'm a successful real estate investor. And guess when that happened? Before I even owned my first piece of property. I believed I was a real estate investor. I took it on as an identity. And then I did what I should do. I saved up a little bit of money. I made sure I stayed at my job for a couple of years. I followed my mentor's advice. And then the day came to buy real estate, and I became that real estate investor. Now, there are some different ways to take action and reinforce this. Affirmations is a really big one, which is just repeating these empowering beliefs, but with really good energy. Examples of affirmations: I can do it. I got this. I love my family. I show up for them. It's so easy for me to rock it out in my real estate. I'm buying 3 more houses this year. And what you're doing is you're speaking into creation the things that you believe based on those new beliefs. Visualization is another really powerful tool. I'll literally go into meditation and see what I'm speaking. I see myself winning. I see myself succeeding because the brain is willing to believe it. It's kind of crazy. Have you ever woken up from a really bad dream and literally had to pinch yourself to make sure that you weren't still sleeping? Well, that's because the mind is so capable of believing whatever it's dreaming, it's willing to believe also whatever you visualize. And lastly, I would just practice gratitude every day. So instead of, well, this idea that I need to have all of these wins and manifest all these things for me to feel like I'm successful and I'm happy in life, it's like, actually be grateful today because you maybe haven't achieved those goals that your beliefs require, but look at what you have achieved. In the very least, you're breathing. That is its own beautiful gift of love. Literally, this environment, this atmosphere, trees are sustaining you with life. And that's the gift that literally has you watching this video and breathing today. There's so much to be grateful for. So when you're grateful, you're doing your affirmations and visualizations, all of that takes these new empowering beliefs and reinforces them. Because here's the secret of life. What you think about most, you bring about. the most. So here's my challenge. It's time to start a new life today. You can do this. You can have your belief breakthrough journal, and every day starting right now, you can write down one limiting belief, ground and ask, what's the number one limiting belief holding me back? Then replace that with an empowering belief. And step 3, take bold action towards your goal. Like act on it, do something with it, while in the meantime, doing those affirmations, that visualization, and choosing to believe before you see. I got a final thought for you. You are not alone on this journey. If you want to connect with me and other people that are believing in their brighter futures, you can take action today by joining me at Unleash Your Financial Destiny. It's a 3-day life-changing event that I put on. And yes, it's about real estate and business. It's about wealth. It's about making money. But it has all sorts of mindset components, just like we're talking about today, to teach you how to believe so much in yourself that it becomes inevitable to create the life of your dreams. Click the link below, learn about this upcoming life-changing event, and I'll see you there. By the way, I started with nothing when I got in the game of real estate except for the power of belief. And then I had a mentor that gave me a few small action items that literally turned into a portfolio of 25 homes. And if you want to know how I house hacked myself starting with basically nothing into a multimillionaire, click here and watch this video and I'll show you.